Hello, Professor Kent Lee here. Welcome back to the High Intermediate English Conversation course. This is either an optional or substitute video for the CityBank week, or maybe for some sections an optional extra. As we went through we finished the pronunciation unit, and I realized there was one page at the very beginning we kind of went through in the first day of the unit, and we didn't come back to it. So I wanted to kind of review it and comment more on some of the particular pronunciation problems in those words that you looked at. And that is specifically page 19 in the book, I believe. Yes, page 19. So to review some of the issues that we've talked about that we're going to see here on page 19, I'm going to go through the items on page 19 in this video in case you wanted to actually discuss these items. So some of the issues here on page 19 are issues we talked about with syllable length and intonation. So we have stressed syllables in English, and actually we have several levels of stress we didn't really get into because it's awfully complicated. So we have stressed syllables and unstressed syllables. So for example, in the word syllable, the first syllable of syllable is stressed, and it's longer than the others. Syllable. And the syllable is very, 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 very short. Syllable. The first one, the stressed syllable, is much longer than the others. Syllable. Syllable. The others sound kind of like very short, almost like I'm swallowing them, and that's normal English. Intonation. Maybe the tone is a short vowel. It might have kind of a second level stress. We didn't really talk about that, but kind of a minor stress. And then the ation. By the way, T-I-O-N and endings like that, S-I-O-N, usually the main word stress is on the syllable before it. A little tip there. So intonation. So stress, what you might call accent, the syllable is longer and louder, and your intonation kind of changes a lot. It usually goes up and down, or at least goes up or goes down, like intonation, intonation. So the first one, the N, is very short. Intonation, the tone is a little longer, minor stress. And the A is much longer than the others, and the Shun is very short. Intonation. You have compound nouns where the main stress usually falls on the first one, the first item, like compound noun. Compound noun is a compound noun, so compound noun. Main stress on the first word, compound. Then we have a few other rhythm issues which I'll kind of touch on as we go through these items. Vowels, another part of the English rhythm and stress and length system is long vowels, so syllables with long vowels are of course longer. A, like bait and bacon, it's long. A, because it's a glide. A, and the O as in boat, boat, bait, boat. O, it's long. It's a O. As well as the E like beat and the U like boot. Those are long too. And most other vowels of English are short, like bat, bit, book, bed, bought. I bought a new bed. Like body, like butter. Extra short vowels, they're very, very short, like these. The like in the. Extra short, the, like the book, like in a book. Give me a book. Very, very short. It might be hard for you to hear the of about. And then the second short vowel, the second extra short vowel is that like in her, or the in butter. Very short, unstressed. So consonants, we talked about consonants. So for example, the palatal consonants, we have the sh and zh. Sh, your tongue is bent up like this, not flat like in Korean or Japanese, or the Chinese chi chi shi. Sh like she, and the zh like in genre, zh. Your tongue is bent up and you're just creating friction. Your tongue is not touching up there. Zh, genre, beige. Zh. Okay, your tongue is simply touching and creating friction, and the zh has the vibration down here. Likewise, the ch and ja, your tongue tip is touching up there like this. It's not flat like in Korean or Chinese or Japanese, but bent up like that. Ch, like cherry, and judge. For some, especially older people, the S before vowels like I, so the S in city, it's city, don't say she, but it stays in S. In Korean and Japanese, you get this consonant blending where the consonant blends into the position of the vowel, like she in Korean, but don't want to do that in English, especially in words like this. And we talked about the dental consonants and very soft tongue tip behind the front teeth, creating a little bit of friction. They're fairly soft sounds. So let's look at the sample sentences on page 19. The first one, I need some notebooks and pens. So notebooks, so there's the O, long O and note, O, notebook. And the T is not released before another consonant usually. Note, not notebook. And the K is not released. It's at the end of a word and before another consonant. So not notebooks, but notebooks. And the O is long, notebooks. And then the first part, it's a compound, so notebooks is stressed. Notebooks. Not notebooks, but notebooks. The note is stressed. Pens. The S plural ending will become voiced, partly voiced, if the noun in, or if the word ends in a voiced sound. In is voiced, so the S here becomes sort of a Z. More of a Z than a S. Pens. Notebooks and pens. So I need some notebooks and pens, not Pence. You're not buying Vice President Pence. You need a lot of money to buy him. You could buy him if you have enough money, but little money you can buy some pens and notebooks. Number 2, do you have any goat cheese? Maybe not the best example, because who buys goat cheese? Nobody I know, but oh well. Do you have any? So all these function words, do you have any? Those are function words, very light, unstressed. Do you have any? Very quick, do you have any? We tend to link these words together when possible, especially if they begin with vowels. Do you have any? It's pretty quick. Goat cheese. So goat, main stress, goat cheese. O, long O, goat. And the T is not released. Goat, not goat, but goat cheese. Now ch, your tongue is bent up like ch, not flat like the Korean chi. Cheese, and the word ends in a z. So it's just like an S, but with vocal vibration here. Cheese, z, not j, and not cheese. Don't add an extra vowel. Cheese or cheese, whatever. Cheese, goat cheese. 3, can I buy some Dutch beer? So can I buy, very quick function words, unstressed, linked together. Can I buy some Dutch beer? So not Dutchy, but Dutch. Your ch is like this, tongue bent up like this, Dutch. So there's no or e added. Not Dutchy, but Dutch beer. Dutch beer and some French wine. So again, not Frenchy, but French. Tongue is like this, French. So you don't add an extra vowel like Frenchy, French wine. Some French wine. Number 4, do you have any beltfish? So do you have any linked together, unstressed, beltfish? Compound, main stress on belt. T in belt is not released, not beltfish, because it's before another consonant sound, beltfish. And the sh, again, your tongue is bent up like sh, not flat like in Korean or Japanese or Chinese, shi. So fish. So you don't add an extra vowel like fishy, as some Korean and Japanese speakers do, not fishy, but tongue bent up, so you can end it on the sh. Fish. Beltfish, which by the way is a really good fish, especially in a spicy soup or stew. I love beltfish stew, like in Jeju-do. Number 5, do you have any new jazz CDs? So jazz, j, tongue bent up like that, jazz, z. It's a Z, your tongue doesn't touch, it's just an S with vibration here, z, jazz. So don't add an extra not jazz, but jazz, jazz CDs. Jazz CDs. Not CD, but CD. C. Keep the S, not like a she, but CD. Now, we talked about how compounds have main stress on the first part, like beltfish. But with abbreviations, it's the opposite. Usually it's on the last letter. CD, NSA, FBI. So abbreviations, abbreviated terms, they're sort of like compounds, but the main stress is on the last letter. CDs. And then the D, so E, voiced sound, D-E. So the S becomes Z. CDs. CDs. Jazz CDs. So this might be challenging for some learners. Jazz CDs. New jazz CDs. Do you have any new jazz CDs? Okay, practice that one for a while. Number 6, some size C batteries. So size C batteries. Size C, size, not size, but size ends on the z, z. So just an S with voicing, not z. There's no, the tongue doesn't touch. It's just a Z, which is just an S with the voicing, the vibration down here. Size C, not she, but C. She, because again, native speakers might not understand the she sound. Size C batteries, size C, Z. So you're saying the Z, size, Z, and C. Keep your tongue in similar position. This is sort of like your tongue has to do some gymnastics. Size and in vibration, Z, and stop vibrating, C. Batteries. Batteries, Z. Because battery, voiced vowel sound. Batteries, the S becomes voiced into a Z sound. 7, I need a tote bag. Okay, that's like, one of these things for toting or carrying things. Tote, long O, tote. O, not taught. Taught. Like what? For tater tots, which is sort of like a potato food dish, sort of like hash browns. Not a tot bag, but a tote bag. The last T is not released. Tote, not tote, but tote, not released. No breath release on the second T, on the final T. Tote bag, because it's at the end of a word or before another consonant. Tote bag. Notice on bag, when they have a short word that ends with a voiced sound, like a g, to make it clear, we might draw the vowel out a little bit more, like bag instead of back, like my back. Tote bag instead of tote back. Tote bag. A little clue that we do to make, because it's hard to pronounce any of your voice sounds at the very end of a word, like bag. So we make the vowel a tiny bit longer than usual as a kind of a clue that there's a voiced sound at the end. The sound at the end is voiced. Number 8, do you have any orange yogurt? So orange, or. So it's kind of a double vowel, or. So the vowel, the R in English, in some ways it's kind of like a vowel, and it kind of forms a double vowel with the vowel before it, orange. And then the second syllable is that unstressed that upside down E, the schwa. Orange. So the main stress is on the first one, so that's longer. Orange. The second syllable is very short, orange, and it ends in a j. Tongue bent up like this, j. Orange. Orange yogurt. So the T is not released, yogurt. And of course, I think traditionally yogurt has been rendered in Korean as yogurt, with yogurt, which is way too many syllables. I think seems like it's increasingly common just to call it yogurt in Korean, which makes more sense in Korean anyway. Yogurt. Stress yo. Long O, yogurt. The is unstressed Think of a dog growling. But it's very short. Yogurt. Like the and butter. Think of going but make it very short. Yogurt, yogurt, very short. That 9, I need a cable for my phone. So phone is O, long O, phone. Phone, cable, also a long vowel, cable, A, not A, but A. And phone, O, not O. If you say phone, people might have trouble understanding. Phone, phone, cable, phone, cable for my phone. Notice the minor words are pretty short. I need a cable for my phone. For is very short, almost fur. I need a cable for my phone many times. 10, do you have any frozen hash browns? So O and frozen, Z, voiced S. Frozen hash browns. So hash, tongue bent up like that. Hash, not hashy. You don't want to sound like hashish. Hashish, hashish, which is a kind of illegal drug. You don't want to say that. Hash browns. Hash browns, which is a kind of fried potato breakfast item, which is pretty good. I miss it. Hash browns. And the vowel, your jaw is kind of low for hash browns. Hash browns. 11, do you have any Buzz Lightyear toys? So compounds, again, another complexity with compounds. Okay, Lightyear means stress on the first one, Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear is the character's name. Family names or last names have more stress than the first name, though. So Buzz Lightyear, just like Barack Obama. Or if you sing the family name first, like in Western media, we say Pan Ki-moon. We put stress in the first one to indicate that's the family name, and they're putting the family name first in Western media. So family names, more stress. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, okay, Bernie Sanders, Gordon Brown, Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. And toys, oi, ends in a vowel. Vowels are voiced, oi, so the S becomes voiced. Toys, toys, not toys, but toys. If you say toys, people will not understand. Toys, Buzz Lightyear toys. Do you have any Buzz Lightyear toys? 12, can I download torrents over your Wi-Fi? So Wi-Fi, it's actually a compound. It's been shortened. So it's Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, Wi-Fi. Torrents, or torrents, okay, get the R. Now download. Here's one I didn't really get to mention. In Korean, you have consonant blending, where two consonants together will blend into different new sounds. So in Seoul, you might know a well-known place in Seoul called Wangsimni, which is spelled Wangship-li, but the biep and the real blend together to Wangsimni. You don't say Wangship-li, but Wangsimni. Or in Busan, I'm in Busan, so we have Kumnyeonsan. So the Kumryeon becomes Kumnyeonsan, which is a really nice mountain to hike, I found. So that's blending. In English there's blending too, but it's different. It mainly involves the dental and palatal consonants, but that may be a little hard to remember. But basically in Korean it can happen anywhere you just happen to have certain consonant combinations in words, but in English it's mainly limited to function words, or if you have a function word, it's again minor words, prepositions, conjunctions, pronouns. So either between function words, or if a function word is right after a content word like a noun or something. So for example, don't you want to do this becomes don't you. So that's where a lot of our contractions come from. Don't you becomes don't you. That's blending. Don't you, to, chu, ch. And then vowels get reduced. Don't you. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you do it? I could have, I could have, I coulda. Okay, and it's kind of reduction. Give me, in very colloquial English, gimme. You hear children say, gimme, gimme, or let me go. This kind of blending is common in English, but it mainly involves, at least one of them has to be a function word. Occasionally a content word followed by a function word. That's not as common though. But we do not blend N with L or P and L at all. It happens with function words where it's certain consonants, maybe an M or a N or a Y or a T and Y and things like that. Those are consonants that are more toward the front of the mouth, but not others. So we don't blend download as you do in Korean. In Korean, the N and the L blend together into download. So it's like the N and the L blend together and become both N. So down, it's not download, but download. The L must be pronounced distinctly and clearly. And of course, mean stress on the first part because it's a compound download. Download. So say the L clearly. Don't blend the L with the N. You do it in Korean, but it's not done in English. And so people probably won't understand you, or might not understand you if you are saying download. It sounds like download, N-O-D-E, download. It sounds like a different word altogether. Download. And the same is for upload. The P and the L just don't blend together in English. So it's not umnode. So in Korean you say umnode, but in English the two consonants, the P and the L, need to be distinct. Upload. So of course the P, you don't release the air because it's before another consonant, but upload. The two consonants are distinct. Upload. 13, I opened a checking account at CityBank, so stress on the first part, CityBank. Again, don't blend the S with the E. In Korean you say shi in CityBank, and it sounds like you really don't like the bank. Oh, it's a really shitty bank. You might think so, but of course it's not going to sound good in English if you say it like that. CityBank. So you might think it's a shitty bank, but you might make yourself look bad if you talk like that. CityBank. Checking account, by the way, compound mean stress on the first one. 14, same thing. This is kind of a tongue twister, actually. I think she should sit. Now, with tongue twisters, games that kids play in English is to say it 3 times fast. So you should be able to say this 3 times fast. I think she should sit. I think she should sit. I think she should sit. Try it 3 times fast. Good practice. Impress your friends at parties. Because of course, if you blend the S with the vowel in sit, as you do in Korean and Japanese, doesn't sound good. Okay, that's an overview of the pronunciation. So again, we've had stress and intonation issues, some other rhythm issues like blending patterns and linking. We link words together. The stress patterns, which are really complicated in English compared to maybe your language, as well as the vowels, long vowels, short vowels, extra short vowels, and a lot of these consonant issues. All of these can lead to a distinct accent, a distinct Korean or Chinese or Japanese accent, which in itself is not bad as long as people can understand you, but if they are significant enough, they may cause problems with understanding, and people might have trouble understanding you. So there's nothing wrong with an accent, but this will help you to monitor your accent so at least that it's comprehensible, which is really the goal of language, is just so that people can understand you. Nothing wrong with an accent. You can't totally get rid of your accent, probably, but you just want people to understand you and to sound, articulate and clear enough that people will at least find you pretty comprehensible and clear, and that you're trying to communicate clearly in English. So learning pronunciation and improving pronunciation in a second language is actually really, really hard, and it takes a lot of practice. Unfortunately, in a class like this, we don't have a lot of time to really practice this. It takes extensive practice, more than what we can do in one semester. The goal of this is just to make you aware of the issues that you need to be aware of and practice, because it's going to take, if you really want to improve your pronunciation, it would take effort over months and years of practice. And so that's why I can only cover this for a short while in this course, just to make you aware of the issues. But unfortunately, can't really spend a lot of time practicing. It's really, well, up to you to maybe review this, come back to this, listen to maybe good video samples and audio samples, media, video songs that you enjoy, that you like, and practice shadowing. You're repeating after the speaker. You can do this sometimes to practice your pronunciation and your intonation. Again, you probably can't do it for too long. After a while, it gets kind of tiring and boring, so don't overdo it. But from time to time, try some shadowing, or at least just listening to good speakers and try to analyze their speech, their vowels and their consonants and the intonation, and learn from that. So I wish you good luck in this. This is a really hard thing in learning a language. But good luck to you, and I will see you later. Goodbye.